Hey RV family, keep it tight. My name is J Morris, the Review Guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one I'm going to be covering the new Clipping album entitled There Existed an Addiction to Blood. Is that a good impression? So Clipping, they are an experimental hip-hop trio hailing from Los Angeles, California. This is their third official studio-length album. Their debut absolutely kicked ass, but it was the concept of their next album that really kind of sent them over the edge. Now let me just say, in the major landscape of noisy, experimental, glitchy hip-hop artists that are building up relevancy very, very quickly, or have been relevant, your Death Grips, your JPEGMAFIAs, I think Clipping has a unique way of bridging that gap between the more abstract hip-hop listeners and people that just kind of want something accessible, and I think a lot of that is attributed to David. David Diggs has a really good career already outside of music, so the fact that he is still making music with Clipping, a band that is kind of niche in the grander scheme of things, is very impressive, and I'm super excited. I can't put into words how happy I am that Clipping is still making music. It is his ability to sound so ice cold and frigid and smooth as he flows along the compositions that he just sounds made for this, but he doesn't come off sounding too wacky at times. And allow me to just say, this record for the most part is basically what I would have liked to hear Clipping do, which is push their sound into a new direction without losing their original flair. This album is an hour and 8 minutes long, it spans 15 tracks, and you get the usual industrial hip-hop and experimental hip-hop, the very noisy and glitchy elements of their sound coming back in full stride, but it really is the incorporation of these horrorcore elements that sells this record for me. Just like on the track Nothing is Safe, with its very generously meticulous but minimalist instrumentation before it just bursts in the latter half. I think it's also very fitting that David kind of ramps up his vocal delivery on that section, repeating the refrains that were on the previous leg of the track. But I think a really telling track on this record is Blood of the Fang. If there is a single track that I think encapsulates what this record goes for, it's this track. David doesn't breathe. I genuinely don't think the man has a breath left in his lungs after this track. The breakups on this track are very interesting, but it's really when he ramps up and goes supersonic speed in the latter half that just gets me, and it's not even the beat. The beat isn't that high octane or that high energy, and he isn't high octane or high energy. Like I said before, his ability to sound so careless and like he could not give less of a shit while he is delivering these things, but simultaneously sounds so foreboding and weird and funky. It's impressive, what can I say? Pretty much entirely on this record, they do not drown in influences for the most part. I mean, I think, you know, fans of like Shabazz Palaces will get a lot out of this, and Dälek, and bands like that. But otherwise, I would say this is maybe their least adventurous record they have made to date. It's still really nice, though. They're definitely not going above and beyond to go hardcore with the concepts, although all of these tracks really do follow, like I said, this horrorcore vibe. The beats are on point. David's delivery is flames most of the time. The production is very flawless, but doesn't rip the life out of it. Sometimes the inclusion in how they introduce the glitch and noise on this record feels a little bit worse than what they've done before, like on the track Attunement, where these shots of glitch and noise I enjoy, but when the noisiness comes, it kind of just drowns everything out and doesn't really add much to the track in my opinion, and this is coming from a band that really thrives on noise. Not to mention the ending track. It's 18 minutes long, it's called Piano Burning, and I was like, oh my god, they're about to go on some odyssey, but it's literally just audio of a piano burning. The interludes, Prophecy and Possession, add a little bit to the track listing, but would be things I might skip. The former is probably the more enjoyable of the two. The second kind of serves as an interlude that leads in properly, but the first one just has this very eerie, ominous feel, and it kind of goes by very quick, which does make it a good interlude, which is what it's supposed to do. But pretty much that's where my nitpicks stop for the most part. I mean, Run for Your Life is very minimalist in its introduction for about the first 2 minutes, but it does ramp up near the latter half, and it does have these shots of glitch. Not really noise, but just glitch. I also really am enjoying all the features that they bring on. None of them take away from these tracks, they only add. In my personal opinion, I don't think there's much denying that this is maybe Clipping's weakest record out of the others they have released. But even clipping at their technical worst is better than many bands in this genre or solo artists at their best. Otherwise, there existed an addiction to blood. It's what I wanted to hear. Wasn't really that much that kind of surprised me, unless we're talking, you know, Blood of the Fang's really fast delivery at the latter half, which David is a great lyricist and a great vocalist. I expect that from him. I guess the core elements was kind of interesting and intriguing. Otherwise, it's just a great clipping record. It's not super outstanding or mind-blowing or mind-expanding, but definitely one of the best hip-hop records of the year by far. There's really no arguing their talent. There's really no arguing their abstractness. And even though they're not pushing it to the limit on this record, they don't necessarily need to. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna be giving this album an 8 out of 10. And that is a wrap. Please look for the end screen to links and videos that you might be interested in. Have you heard this new clipping record? There existed an addiction to blood. If you have, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about it. I would love to discuss the record with you. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morris, the Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.